Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Madman with the Box. And Jimmy, I swear to God,
Pixel.
You know what? I have the power. There we go. Welcome back to Madman with the Box with me. I am your host, joined by my fellow co-hosts, of course, the great Oz Chris, and there's Jimmy. Say hi, Jimmy. There you go. I'm going to let him go ahead and figure it out for himself. Can he do it? Can he find a way? I'm not going to press any more buttons. I'm not going to keep you quiet, Jimmy. I'm not going to silence you. You can come back.
Okay, I'm back.
Say hi. Oh, Pixel is Edgar. This is for you. This is for you, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm doing good. A side news before we jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
My roommate has officially started watching Doctor Who.
Oh,
yes.
very good.
And right before we hopped on here, I want to say about 5-10 minutes ago, we just got done with almost done with season 2, The Satan Pit and Impossible Planet, whatever, which order. And he seemed to love it. So
nuts.
I asked him midway through the second episode. I was like, "You like this episode?" He goes, "It's making me think, dude." I was like, "Yeah, that's what Doctor Who does."
Yeah. Well, wait till they get to Love and Monsters, then they're really gonna start thinking.
I literally already told them we're skipping it.
You can't skip it.
You're no fun.
Did he watch Rose?
Yes.
He watched freaking Plastic Mick going pizza, and you're afraid to show him the Observador for whatever the fuck.
Yeah, he actually laughed. He laughed at the pizza part. He was like, he thought that was cheesy. I was like, yeah, but think about it. It's 2005.
He'll love the Observalov.
No, I'm not even gonna let him see that. That is fucking trash. Okay. If Landry was here, take it from me. I think he'd agree.
You would be wrong. He loves Love and Monsters.
I know.
He is the number one Love and Monsters fan in the world.
It's so weird. He's a stan of Love and Monsters and Solo. A Star Wars story. It's like
Solo, a Star Wars story would be good if it wasn't about Han Solo. But anyway,
it's not good at all, even if it wasn't about him.
I disagree. I think it'd be fine. But let's go ahead and cleanse the palate with just a picture of Shuli.
No. We didn't even say hi to Chris.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
You missed it. You missed it, Jimmy.
No. Jimmy missed it. Pixel's Adric missed it. Jimmy didn't.
You are Pixel's Adric.
No, Pixel is Adric.
Sweet mother. Anyway, yes, you can see it's just Shooty. He's in a coat. Yeah, he's out there. King of the world.
Why does he look like Matt Reeves' Batman jumping off a building? You watch that? Remember that scene where he jumps off a building and he looks like a flying squirrel thing? That's what he looks like right now.
Well, early suits. You gotta go ahead and get all the kinks out.
I love that TARDIS, by the way. Just look at it.
It looks nice. It looks nice from a distance.
And it's so weird because my favorite TARDIS was Matt Smith's. That blue looking, brand new looking. Oh, it was great. But this one, I think, is like taking over my favorite spot. So I'm just.
It might be a bit of recency bias, Jimmy.
No, but I kind of like it because it feels like it's ready to go into a battle. Also, a little bit of recency bias.
A little bit of recency bias. All right. Okay. Let's talk about some news. Some real news. We had that. That's very nice to see. But there's a picture that I also want to show that has something that I'm very excited for. Always good to see. I just need to find where you sent it. Seen 5 minutes ago. Here we go. You can see there's a TARDIS, and this looks like an old picture, actually. Look at that TARDIS. That looks far too bright.
Uh,
I just realized that right now as I pulled it up.
wait,
5 minutes ago.
This is no. This is a brand new photo. I know. Someone said they took a photo of it like 5 minutes ago before posting it.
I know.
That
That's
makes
what
me
they
think.
said.
That makes me think. Hold on. Is that someone else's TARDIS?
Oh, another doctor's. Maybe.
Maybe.
There is
Oh.
apparently these Daleks are appearing in the current 14th Doctor comic strip in the magazine, and I know
Yeah.
for a fact that big red boy right there. Look at him. He's
Yep.
great. I love him.
Although it's
That is
a different
Chibnall.
shade.
That's a Chibnall Dalek.
It's a different shade than the one in there.
Yeah, because that's supposed to be this. That's supposed to be RTD Supreme Dalek, and it's supposed to be like red, not like that dark burgundy color.
A Dalek
How is it looking in the comic strip? Have any of us read it?
No, because that required
We
me to
don't
get
get
the
it
magazine.
here.
BBC.
The magazine's not in America.
Who the hell is it? It's
Titan Comics.
but it's not Titan Comics. They don't release the magazine.
Oh, I see what you mean. No idea.
Whoever the hell you are,
It's not Diamond.
America and Australia, we need help. We need these issues. I want to read it. I do.
No, but there's one thing we're not talking about with this photo.
What?
That's like twice the size of a normal Dalek.
Yeah,
That's almost the size of a TARDIS.
He's a big boy. They're big boys.
He's a big boy.
Doctor, your box is small.
Video City One says it's not terribly exciting. Yeah, it's just a photo. I mean,
I think he means the comic. I think he means the comic.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm just I'll take your word for it because there's no way that I can get it myself.
Like I said, the Supreme Dalek in the comic is the traditional red color that RTD introduced.
Is it?
It's called
Yeah.
forced perspective.
Probably,
Jimmy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Actually, no, because it's like right at the end next to it. It's if it was forced perspective, it wouldn't be. It'd either be the TARDIS would be closer to us or further away to make it look like it's the same height.
And if you see the one if you see the one in the middle Dalek, that looks like a normal Dalek, and that's smaller.
It's only smaller because its platform is different. Look at it.
No,
Look at it on the
it's
truck
not.
bed. I'm going to pull the picture up big now. It's going to be big for us. Big. Look, see? It's on the platform. This one's a little bit raised. This one's lower.
It's the same rate. No, it's the same. It's definitely the same.
It's roughly the same.
So this boy's just taller. He's just a tall boy.
That's just a biggin.
He's just a big boy. Fancy meeting you here, Professor Pixel. If that's even your real name. Yes, you know it is, Froggy.
Is that the Dalek Emperor of the Dalek from season 1? That could they be bringing that bad boy back?
No, it's not the Emperor.
No, I'm saying could it be like?
Did he steal another Dalek casing?
I mean, he did say he would live forever.
I will live forever. But I love Daleks. I know there are people that get so tired of Daleks. I never get tired of Daleks.
Same.
I just, as long as the story's good, I'm happy.
The Emperor was a giant ass thing. Yeah, I know. I remember. But its body itself was not. It was actually smaller.
Alrighty. Now it's time to go ahead and look at these photos instead. You wanted to bring them up, Jimmy, because it's worth noting that the pictures that were leaked of the new TARDIS could just be unfinished. Because if you look at the construction photos of 11's TARDIS,
100% not even painted, nothing. Yeah. Except for the background's not painted. But
look. And then it changes. So this, I believe this is the set that's supposed to be the new one.
Nope. Nope.
No?
That's Mass
That's still. Oh, it's just not painted as well. Okay, there we go.
See what I mean?
There we go. Boys, it's sad news when they have to call a flatbed to move a broke down TARDIS. That's funny, Froggy.
I mean, they did that in Doomsday and the Ghost Army. They put the TARDIS in the back of a unit truck.
That one Dalek snacked on one too many silicon chips before dinner. Yes.
Am I missing the joke?
She's talking about the tall boy, the big boy.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You remember the big boy that we saw 2 minutes ago, Jimmy?
Oh, I didn't know what she was talking about. I really had no idea.
Well, we're working with the delay.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. All right, next one.
Next, I think it's important to go ahead and talk about this. There was an article released with an interview from RTD and Mark Gatiss, both fantastic writers. We love them both so much.
Zoom in on Jimmy now. Zoom in on Jimmy now.
Speak for yourself.
And say that again.
No. Don't say it again. Don't say it. Don't.
RTD and Mark Gatiss together for this article expressing just how they feel about television in the modern age, and we both know that they are both fantastic writers. We right, Jimmy?
They're 1.5 writers, 1.5 good writers. RTD is a great writer, and I almost said Stephen Moffat, and Mark Gatiss is a writer.
Anyway, yes, they went ahead, and this tweet in particular is calling out where RTD is saying, "I'm hoping to get the back catalog available on iPlayer because right now people over across the pond are having trouble getting Classic Who."
Well, it doesn't matter because it's only the back catalog would be iPlayer only in the UK. Now, everyone else around the world would have to use BritBox in general.
Yeah, but that's my point. BritBox over in the UK does not have Doctor Who anymore.
No, you said everyone across the pond have a hard time getting the classics.
Across the pond from us, Jimmy. From us. We're on the other side of the pond.
For us. I thought you were saying them for us. Okay.
Typical Americans thinking they're the center of the universe.
Number one, baby. The world started in 1776, and everything before was a mistake.
Anyway,
no. So here's the thing. This is what's really cool. Mark Gatiss is talking with RTD. They're doing something together, having an interview, which gives me feelings that RTD is in talks with Mark Gatiss to write an episode or two. Which this might be surprising to you. This might be surprising. I am a little excited for it.
Good.
Because
he's
no, not because of that. Because it really feels like they're getting the gang back together. Even the side characters of early Doctor Who in 2000s. So they're bringing them back, which makes me feel like, hey, there's a chance Stephen Moffat could be doing a Doctor Who episode here soon, which would make me excited because all of his best episodes were under Russell T Davies, except for one, obviously.
Okay. Anyway,
I knew what you were.
Not going to take the bait. Anyway,
it's truth.
We need to talk about the article because there's a part of it that's circling around. And thanks to Chloe here, she's gone ahead and
no. That's a different article.
No, it's not. Article. It's the same article we pulled up inside. You can see, and we're going to pull it up right now, right here. And what about finding?
Hold up. He did 2 interviews. He did one with GQ, and then that was a different one talking about the classics.
Okay, yeah, no. But okay, fine. That's a different one. But I'm talking about this one right here, where this bit is going around. And what about finding a new generation of TV writers? Davies thinks too many recent recruits are just too angry. And this is the quote part. I do a lot of mentoring, and there are voices wanting to be heard of any gender or ethnicity who consider themselves invisible. They hate the media that ignores them, and they're trapped into wanting a job in that medium purely to increase representation. He's read their scripts, and they're rubbish. He's saying they're rubbish. They don't actually love television, so they don't know how to write for it. And people are taking that, going full force, and I think there is a lot to that. There is a lot to that. He goes on, though. He doesn't just stop there, no matter how certain figures on the internet may want. Saying that, oh, actually, no, it's with Gatus, too. Gatus is right in here.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Where,
sure that's the GQ one.
Where they're saying that right now there's even Antiques Roadshow with non-white experts and Country File talking about global warming, stuff like that. To go ahead, the revolution is changing and the future is bright and there's more to come in. Yeah. Yeah. But the whole point of it is that it's not saying, oh, well, there's no moving forward. We need to go back. They're coming and they're saying that there is a future for the people growing as writers that are watching shows right now. And Doctor Who is part of one of those shows that will bring people into the new age to be like this themselves, to go ahead and lead and tell stories.
Chris, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, RTD does have a point. People that are just going in purely for representation, that's all they care about. There is nothing inherently wrong with that, but if that is your only goal as a writer, your script, your novel, whatever, is going to suffer greatly for it. Because there is more to storytelling than just, oh, this person is this gender or this ethnicity. There's nothing wrong with it, but there's more to storytelling than that. If it's not integral to the story, why do you make it the focus?
No, so I totally agree with you. He's also saying that the people who feel unrepresented are taking it out in their writing, taking it out in what they write for TV, which is not what you do for TV. What you do is make a character that is fantastic, who is part of that minority or whatever something they identify as, and make them a big part and make them awesome so people like them.
Make a character, not a walking stereotype.
Yeah.
Character.
This character is great because they're Asian. It's like, wow, I feel so represented to everyone. You only like me because of my race. Thanks.
Yeah.
Not because of my personality or who I am as a person. It's what I am.
Chris, you're our token Asian, so we appreciate you talking.
Well, thanks.
Artesian.
Sean says, just like shooting in sex education. If this is exactly what we're talking about, what we just said, or is it what Pixel just said? But if it's like what we just said, I totally disagree. Because Ncuti Gatwa was probably the best character in sex education.
I think that's what he means. I think he means that you need to have a character like Ncuti in sex education.
I see. Yeah, exactly. If that's what you're saying, yeah, exactly.
I don't know, though. I haven't seen the show.
Referring back to Doctor Who, Captain Jack. He was one of the best characters in the entire show's history. And guess what? He was gay / bisexual, mainly gay, like past season 2. If you know what I mean.
They kind of forgot he was bisexual for a minute there.
Yeah. But literally, Russell T Davies himself proved that this is what you should do. He laid the foundation 15 years ago, and I think people are just forgetting about that. Also, they're trying to cancel him for this. Yeah. And guess what? How do you cancel this guy who, one, is gay, 2, created It's a Sin, created one of the most inclusive shows even before Doctor Who with Queer as Folk. Not only once, not twice, but 3 different times Queer as Folk has come back because of how revolutionary it was when it came out. So I don't know why people are so pissed off about this.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to go down to it as much as I want to. There's a certain comment in that thread that goes ahead and says that RTD and Gatus are speaking from positions of privilege here, talking about invisible voices that are angry. They don't understand. They need to learn from the pros, and then links an article with Chris Chibnall talking about running shows, the real pros of Doctor Who.
Chibnall couldn't even fully commit to Thasmin. What are you talking about, pros?
And he's
not your representation god.
Chris Chibnall also brought back Captain Jack to be a stereotype. He was like, "Hey, I'm back." Gave a kiss to a guy and then dipped. Like, okay, thanks for that.
Well,
also,
actually, I do have to. I don't like to come to the defense. I'm pretty sure that the fact that Captain Jack was cut down was not a purely Chibnall decision. I think that was the BBC was stepping into. They wanted to reduce his role, especially when things were taking a turn, because that's when things started going downhill with Noel Clarke and all that. All that.
I mean, yeah, but still, he still came back to be a stereotype. It was kind of stupid. But also on the other hand, Ishan says Crispy Pro made a great video rebutting all this. People trying to cancel RTD. I didn't see Crispy Pro made one. I saw Theories made one. So if because Crispy Pro, he's a little busy now working with Who Culture. So I'm not. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Why did you pull up this picture of?
I pulled it up because if we just talk the entire time, our viewers will kind of get bored. So I'm just gonna throw up photos of stuff that's kind of relative to what we're talking about.
I was going to move on to the next article.
Okay. I'm just gonna pull it up. Up here or there.
All right. So next pot, RTD says more. And this one right here, it's actually him again saying it's time for the next stage and talking about spinoffs too. I wish we had the tweet that actually elaborated a little more because I don't want to pull up the full article. Saying that the next stage for Doctor Who is expanding, and he's been saying this a while. This isn't new news, really. It's old news.
No, the only new news is that they're actually starting on it. But this gives us the conversation of, could we get other Doctor spinoffs? Because he brought that up a couple years ago, saying there should be a 10th and 11th Doctor series. There should be a 8th Doctor series. There should be a Nyssa and Nyssa and Ace spinoff, I think he said. But it's like, could there be other Doctor Who spinoffs, such as an 8th Doctor adventure? Because I think that's one I really want.
It's what everyone wants. Everyone wants 8. Anybody who says they don't want 8 does not exist.
At least
I refuse to accept
one
their
season
existence.
or one miniseries. Come on.
I think it's more important that we get what Chris is saying right here. Absorbalov spinoff right now. Let's go, boys.
Yep.
The Absorbalov is one of the most watched videos on the Doctor Who YouTube channel. Of course it is. I'm not pulling up that comment.
Views. Let's go.
I don't.
I'm not pulling that up, Froggy. Anyway, I think that I don't remember him saying anything about 11th or 10th Doctor series of their own going on with the main series. But
no, a 10th, and he said he didn't actually say they were making it. He said there should be one, like
I
as
don't
if
remember
saying
that.
it was like a year and a half ago, a couple years ago. Right when it was right after or right before they announced his return.
So with this, I think, spinoffs, they're going to happen. Let's just hope that they pack the punch that they need to last, because I think with the last couple, Sarah Jane Adventures, while they went on until they could not, Torchwood, we know that is a wave, and then nobody talks about class. Nobody talks about class.
Because it's never exists. It never happened.
There is no class. Classless.
Class is out. It's summer break.
School's out for
You can end that.
summer.
You can just stop.
But yeah, that's pretty much all there is.
So what
with
you're
that.
saying is we need a sequel to the Canine series.
Instead of K9 and Friends, what would it be like? K9 and Droids?
Wasn't it called K9 and Company?
No, the Australian one. It was just called K9.
Oh, yes, you're right.
That's
You're
what I
right.
was making.
The
joke about.
pilot, the K9 and Company.
K9 and Company was the Sarah Jane and K9.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the sequel. K10.
K10.
Oh no. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this only because you have put together an image. I think you put it together, Jimmy. But in this GQ article, this is where he says it, where he talks about Edgar Wright and wanting him to direct for Doctor Who.
I see. I didn't put the image together, the one you sent me. It was actually going around right after this came out.
Well, okay.
And
So
it's
keep
a
that
good
in mind. Keep that in mind for the next second, because I'm going to pull up the image right now as soon as the screen.
We're getting a
lets
little
load.
bit Alex Ross. Not Alex Ross. What's the guy's name? Alex Jones. We're going a little bit Alex Jones here.
Put on your tinfoil caps. Get ready.
Because the Doctor Who and like there's a frog. They're making the frogs gay.
Well,
Remember the-
you
remember
can see
the
Froggy in
frog?
the comments.
No.
No.
Remember the frog from like series 11?
Yes, of
Making the
course.
frogs gay.
So,
So if we look here, guys, you see Edgar Wright posted a picture of this blue door. I know that's not saying much, but it's the exact door from the teaser. It's the same color. It's the same handle.
It's backwards.
Guys,
It's
they do this all the time in trailers. They transpose images all the time.
It's
They flip them.
Oh, so
Flip
this
'em.
is the most generic looking door in the UK. So
You've been there?
What about the numbers?
You've been there, Chris?
yeah, what
That-
about the numbers?
So, though we don't.
It's probably hidden because we only see the left side of it.
That's true, and it's not like it's in the trailer. I don't believe it.
Also, they probably hid it because they transposed it. Otherwise, it would look like 1-9 backwards.
Yes. Well, we don't know because it's not in the trailer or anything, so we don't know.
Also,
no.
Edgar Wright posted 9 years ago. I'm going to break your heart here, but I was offered the episode Rose by Russell T Davies, the first of the new Doctor Who episodes, and I could not do it because I was busy with Shaun of the Dead. Understandable.
And his mother's never forgiven him.
And his mother's never forgiven him. Could this
He will
be
take that to her grave. He will have to live with that.
No.
Oh.
He will be reconsolidating. Reconsolidating? I think that's the right word. Consolidating that. No. Either way, he's going to be fixing that problem so she can now forgive him. Because come on, like who just posted this blue door? By the way, TARDIS blue, and it just happens to be the same door with the same lock. Okay, no matter what you say about the door being average, you don't get the same lock on every single door because every tenant and every person who rents out a place has to change the locks every time someone moves
the
out.
locks look the same, Jimmy. They don't change the look of the locks. They change the lock internally.
Okay, first off,
because it's a mechanism.
It's
not the full thing.
First off, you don't change the middle part and leave the caps on the end. That's not how it works. You change the whole thing. It just goes through a hole in the door.
But the thing isn't going to... What? They're going to take it off and put up a new hanger? Is the hanger going to be sideways now? I don't know.
That's my point exactly. If they change the locks, they would change the hanger on the outside to go with it.
And they're putting chemicals in the water to turn the frogs gay.
You know what? I'm clipping this part for when they announce Edgar Wright as directing an episode.
I'm not saying he couldn't.
No. Now you're saying it. You're saying it. I'm clipping this part because you're like, oh, this guy's crazy. Okay, first off, it's just a fucking coincidence. And why would he post? Also, look who liked the picture of his door.
Okay. Yeah, you like the picture. Yeah, that's Russell a very nice door.
Russell T. Davies liked the picture of the door. Why would Russell T. Davies do that?
It's a pretty nice door, you know? I think that he just appreciates fine workmanship. Fine paint job.
It's literally like, come on. My theory is he directed the first episode of Shutigawa.
Maybe. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm not. I'm just... It's a door. it might be a tease. I don't really. I'm either way with it. Though, here's the thing. We would need a picture of that woman right up there. I can't remember her name. We talked about her last week. We would need a picture of her because if you flip someone, then you're able to tell if a picture's not right. But anyway, that's the image. That's our. We can take off the tinfoil caps now.
Never.
The water is normal.
Never.
The frogs are okay.
Just remember, the last time I brought up something like this, it was David Tennant returning, and Pixel was the one. They're not going to bring him back. They're not. They just wouldn't. They're not going to bring him back.
Yeah, but then I made up for that.
Now!
I reconsolidated that, Jimmy, by guessing Tintin.
Look who was
Look
right
at me now.
I just think it's funny how, like, every time I say something that's like kind of that could be true, and that I pull out something that's just like a good guess, and you're just like, oh, that wouldn't happen, and then it just my guess ends up happening, and you're just like, oh well, I kind of theorized that the whole time. No, shut up.
Can we talk about your bad guess now?
You're a jerk.
Can we talk about your bad guess? Because
which
you pulled up this picture and you said, could this be not a new slug, but an old slug? And you posted this post that's praising the image of Findle, and it has this worm thing.
Yes.
It's a very different worm thing, Jimmy.
The Findle.
No. So, okay.
Findle is different.
Real quick.
Okay.
The Autons looked a lot different from Rose than they did back with the with John Pertwee.
Okay.
They looked a lot different.
I don't think the Findle hugs people and makes their minds vote conservative, as you guessed.
I mean, that'd be fun. Okay. That guess, by the way, I wasn't real about that, but I want it to be true. That would be hilarious.
It's going to be true.
That would be hilarious. Wait. Can we just please? Because last time we made a joke guess, it was Rah Rasputin song being in Jody's final episode, and it ended up being true.
Well, this won't be that. The Findle is different. Leave the Findle alone. Let the Findle be okay.
What if it is the Findle? It looks the same, dude. Except for
it doesn't look the same at all.
There's no split in the middle.
There's no arms. Those aren't arms. Those are frills.
Those things look. I can't say. I can't. What? It's a PG show. It's a PG show.
It is. It is. Have you seen some? Yeah, no. This is our first.
What I was thinking is a little too far. Okay, what I was thinking is a little too far. You know, I put it in the private chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your private chat. Okay. and everyone will just look at us as we laugh. We're waiting.
And then Pixel's gonna accidentally alt tab and show it.
You know, I could do that, but I don't want to do the whole little thing. Okay. Looks like a piece of this live stream is racist. I'm not racist against frogs. I just don't know what to talk about when you're talking about a good-looking door. It's a beautiful door. It's a beautiful door. Is that what you want to hear?
I like how frogs in the chat. We were saying frogs were turning gay. So I'm just saying.
Well, well, you heard him up there. He's saying that he turned the water gay, but that's another matter. Alex Jones, take your rest. Findle, leave the Findle alone, okay?
What if it was though? Like, what if it was
the big boy alone?
Are we not going to discuss how it could be?
Because it couldn't be, Jimmy. We're not going to discuss it.
Clip it. Clip it.
But you clip it.
Because if it ends up being the Findle.
2 more things.
Okay.
2 more. And then we can talk about the Curse of Fenric. Stephen Moffat has also done an article recently, or been interviewed for one, I should say. And where he's saying that he believes Doctor Who could go on forever. That he believes it can. And that is fair.
Because it's about change.
The show is about to, it is about continuing forward, pushing on.
You know what I think Doctor Who is really about? Peter Capaldi made a really good speech on it. He was saying it was about death. That was, if you guys ever want to see something that might actually make you have feelings for the first time in your life, his speech on Doctor Who being about death is a real good one.
Okay. There's part of me that just wants to say it's about a madman with a box, but no, I won't.
No, it's about family, which is why Vin Diesel should be the 16th Doctor.
Shut your mouth. No.
See,
no.
Then
17th.
we get Susan back, so it's definitely about family.
Okay, and where does Chris Pratt fit in all this?
Stop it!
We're
done.
He's the new Valyard.
You sick son of a bitch.
Whoa, guys, hear me out. Hear me out.
The prints we make along the way.
Hear me out. Okay. We're on the 6th Doctor of this new series. Well, once David Tennant leaves, we're on the 6th Doctor.
Well, no, because he is the 6th Doctor.
What?
Sorry, wait a second.
Okay, hold
Wait
on.
a second.
Chris, Pixel, before you start talking mumbo jumbo, can I
9, 10, 11, 12, there's 13, and then 14, which is David Tennant back again in a second incarnation. He is the 6th Doctor. He is the new 6th Doctor.
Oh no.
Yes. Yes, he is.
We're making 6 good? Let's go!
6 has always been good. You've just been blind.
So, hear me out. The 6th Doctor, the new 6th Doctor of the modern era. Could David Tennant be like the darkest version, kind of like how 6 was?
From what we've seen, probably not.
No.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Well, we don't know because it's not out
this
yet.
is Time Lord Victorious guy, okay? He's back.
He was Time Lord Victorious. The whole point of him being back, I'm telling you right now, is him accepting change, the future, moving forward, not holding on.
Moving forward by going back?
Yes, because
Good
we've
for
never
you.
seen that before. We've never had a Doctor regenerate into his old self. By the way,
But the old self
I had
didn't
this
want to
argument
go.
with you, Pixel. I had
The
this
old
argument.
one didn't want to go. Now he wants to. Now he's okay with going.
I had this
He
argument
accepts
with
it.
you when David Tennant. When I theorized David
How are
Tennant
you
was
talking
coming
about,
back.
Jimmy? I've said it about Tintin the entire
Can
time.
you let me finish? Then you'll understand what
Never.
I'm talking about. when I said David Tennant's coming back, and you said not going to happen, I said this is the first time this has happened, and it's actually moving forward because we've never seen this happen. And you said that's not possible because we're moving back. We're going to hold on to the past. Now you're agreeing with me. I like today. Today's just like a revelation day, okay? It's just a revelation day.
When I said about Tintin happening, it was going to be him in his old face and that face learning to accept letting go. Yeah, no. That's what I've always said. Anyway.
Really? You've always said that?
I've always said that.
Give me 5 minutes.
I'd have to give you a lot longer. Do you know how many damn videos we've made on this channel?
I know exactly which episode it was because there's a photo of David Tennant saying his fucking return. Confirmed,
PG show,
David
kids.
Tennant.
PG show.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to say the other thing. Say the other thing.
Alrighty. Can we talk about the last thing now?
Yeah,
Because
go for
it's
it.
actually connected to Stephen Moffat. Caitlin Blackwood, you may know her. She's returning as a teenage Amelia Pond in a Doctor Who adventure where she's going to encounter Missy for Big Finish.
Now, will Missy be the therapist she bites? Remember, she said she had multiple therapists and she kept biting them.
Yeah, so one of them that she bit. Yeah,
Will it be Missy?
it might be. Might just be. See, I feel I can applaud Moffat for having 11 not meet the master at all. On one hand, on the other hand, I want to see 11 against the master. It's what I want.
That's something I've always hated. There's two things I've hated about the Stephen Moffat era. Two things I've always hated. One, Matt Smith never got to go up against the master. And two, Peter Capaldi only got to have one episode of River Song. But we'll hold that one off for a later discussion.
He also got
Matt Smith would have been brilliant with a master. And we never got that.
Though I kind of disagree.
Well, to be fair, 9 never got to meet the master, and I feel like 9 with the master would be
Amazing.
yeah.
See,
I
no,
kind of want that more.
So here's the thing. I think 11 in his way of being, like even when he goes against the Daleks and he gets all mad and pissy, it's very different getting mad against a Dalek compared to, meeting your oldest rival, the master. I think that 11 against the master might just have clashed a little too much with him as the Doctor, but like it would have brought out the worst in him. Could have, I should say.
Yeah, Sean says it really depends on what type of master.
That's fair.
See, if you were to go up against Sacha Dhawan, it's like looking in a mirror.
Looking in a very warped mirror.
Yeah.
Though 11 would not leave him to be hunted by Nazis. I feel very secure in saying that. Missy Pre-Capaldi, like the rest of her Big Finish stories. I guess. I haven't listened to them. I'm sorry. Chris has listened to them all. We live vicariously through him. I'll eventually get around to listening to that, but I'm still on the Dead Star, okay? I'm over halfway. I'm getting somewhere. I just have to keep rewinding because it's my bedtime story. It's very good though. But yeah, no, she's back. Teenage Amy Pond. It's very nice.
I mean, have you seen Caitlin Blackwood like recently? She almost looks like Karen Gillan back during Series 5.
Well, now I have to look it up.
Almost close. I mean, it helps that they're related, but
Yeah, they are related. They're cousins, so. All right. Let's look it up. Caitlin. Come on, load for me. Caitlin Blackwood. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm going to share this right now. Share. I guess these are the new photos, as you were saying. Yeah, no, you can tell they are they're very related. Yeah, I see it. Let's hope she
That's so
sounds
weird. You know what? She also kind of looks like a mix between obviously her cousin, but also, what's the girl's name from Game of Thrones who was
Sophie Aldred? No.
Sophie
Actually-
Turner.
Turner.
Yeah, her.
I can see
Yeah. Why? Because they're both redheads? What are you trying to say, Jimmy? Huh?
it.
Your prejudice showing again?
Well, gingers have no souls. No, I'm sorry. Sorry, that's just an old favorite. But that is the end of our news. 45 minutes in, so that's good. Jimmy, I have to ask, did you do your homework this week?
Yes, it did.
Okay, very good. We are talking about The Curse of Fenric, a 7th Doctor story, a big revelation in the tale of Ace, and a momentous time in her life. But we'll go ahead. Jimmy, since you finally did it, go ahead and talk about it.
Jimmy looks confused.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not. I didn't hear a single word you said. Go to Chris first because I found where you contradict yourself right now. It's funny. I'm just making sure it's at the right part, but I found it.
I don't believe him. But anyway, Curse of Fenric. Go ahead, Chris.
Curse of Fenric. I really enjoy the story. It's great. It's 7th Doctor at his most Machiavellian. His most manipulative, if you're not counting expanded material. But everything about it is great. And also really delving into a bit of like the mystery behind the Doctor. Is like, especially when Fenric says he carved chess pieces out of bone. He's pulled bone out of the sand and carved them into chess pieces. It's like, man, the Doctor can do anything, can he?
You know what's really funny is like, when I was watching this, I was like, wow, that TARDIS really just did not want to translate any language ever until the new era did it. Because
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I had to speak Russian.
So if we could just pull up something real quick.
Okay, all right. We're going to go ahead and see. Oh God, I don't.
By the
like
way,
looking old.
You look good, Pixel. You actually look good.
Now or then?
Then. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
What happened?
What happened? It's only been a little while. But episode 7, we're on episode 36.
No, we're on 36 of the live.
This
is episode 6 of our. By the way, these are way more interesting. I'll show you what we did in the beginning before. It was so cool.
We remember Chris would go ahead and do
No. I made like funny skits in the beginning. So.
The 10th Doctor, he had a great time, and people love him. I don't think he needs to come back.
I don't think.
No, he doesn't need to. But hey, the ratings want him to.
The ratings need it.
Yes. Also, that brings us one more thing we could show.
Okay. I agreed, and I went ahead and I changed my statement like 2-3 episodes later. Or
Okay,
it might have been a few more. I'm not going to find that because whenever we talked about 10-Teen, whenever David Tennant was announced and fully announced, I went ahead and said, you know what? I've thought about it because right there, I said, I don't think he needs to. I do love Tennant, but I didn't think he needed to come back. I changed my mind. It's something people can do.
Obviously, you changed your mind, but in the beginning, you didn't. And I had this theory. This is the one where we said David Tennant was possibly coming back.
Yeah,
you're like, no, he shouldn't.
I said he shouldn't, but I was wrong.
Also, if I go further into this, I bet we could come up with you saying, no, you're wrong. This is actually very interesting. Our early stuff is actually very interesting. Now we're just kind of like just a normal podcast. Let me look at this.
One's head.
He's not gonna do that. That's hyperbole, but that's a weird example.
You want to go?
I want to go. I love it. Oh, that hurts so good.
Very sorry for your loss, man.
It's a lovely hat.
I love your shoes.
It's fine. It's fine. Go. Push. Come on.
So we were so much cooler.
Well, that's when you did editing for the channel, Jimmy. It was a long time ago in a galaxy not so far away. But no, yeah, no. I like I said, I changed my mind once things were actually coming to a head.
Real quick, Ashan, Jimmy agreed to at the time. I agreed to him right before that, saying if there's one person to come back, it should be the 8th Doctor. I agreed to that. Which I still agree. If there's one to come back, give us 8.
We all want 8 to come back. Okay, so now I'm going to pull up this image, which I think is from crap, I don't know what it's called, but that way we can talk about the Curse of Fenric and have some visual representation that Jimmy so craves.
You know how I'll talk while you're doing anything. You know how I normally say 5 after the 5th Doctor Who ended? I agree with myself on that. But on the other hand, we wouldn't get episodes like this if we cut out 8. Because obviously this is a fantastic story. Also, what were those things? They're like zombie things.
The Hemivores. So, well, the Doctor mentions it. They are what humanity turns into if the Ancient One went through polluting the planet, and a weird twist of it accidentally creating its own future.
Huh.
So the Ancient One sent back to create an army for Fenric, and that's what the Hemivores are.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
Also, when they flashed in the beginning, where he's in the recreation of the Nazi war room, that I was like, okay, what is going on? I thought they were on our side. Now they're Nazis. What's going on? And it just turns out he has a recreation of the Nazi war room.
Because they're deciphering messages. So it's like, what if we think like them? This will help with the aesthetic. It's like, okay, I guess, but it's good to know you're not one.
Okay.
Sounds like Orphan 55.
Oh, hey now. Okay, you're going.
If Orphan 55 was good, maybe.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of great elements to this story. I only I think there's some pacing issues at the beginning. Because it's going dun 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 dun. And with Classic Who, I'm used to the drawn out approach where you take your time, in your setting. Oh, these are your characters. This went Doctor with them, and by the time we got to Ace, there was just so much going on. I almost wish it was like 2 episodes more, maybe 1 more episode, just to give it some breathing room. But
no, I liked it. I liked it the amount it was, because I feel like if it gave it 1 more, what more could you tell? Like what would you space out in that time?
Yeah, because you get a pretty good idea about every main player in this story.
Yeah.
Like Soren is there, Millington and Judson. What we learn is to be Ace's grandmother and her own mother.
Yeah. I think what they would do if they gave it even 1 more episode, it would be in between episodes 1 and 2.
yeah, that's what I mean. Just for the setting piece itself, because we are thrust into the setting so quickly that it's just a little mind-boggling at the start, but it is good. It's a very good story. I wish the series had taken its break right here.
Yeah, but okay, sorry, real quick. But if they did that though, I think it would just be a little too much. It would be kind of like Seeds of Doom.
I never needed survival, Jimmy. I never needed survival.
The master becoming half cat person? How dare you?
No. No one needs.
How dare
No,
you?
in Grace, when Matt Berry
No,
comes,
no. You do not bring back that abomination ever. Do not.
they get to bring back survival. I gotta bring back something.
Yeah, as Sean says, they reordered the stories during broadcast.
Okay.
Well, that's because of the whole. Well, one of the reasons was the Cartmel master plan, and I think J&T was J&T was like, no, I don't like this idea, so scrap it. But they still kept bits and pieces of the master plan throughout episodes.
Yeah, no, I'm really I really did like the climax to this tale, and actually going ahead and having the wiki up, learning that this was a part of they went ahead and said, oh, this is also a part of Time Lord Victorious, and you definitely see that what you were talking about before with Seven. He goes ahead and he shows his true manipulative.
Yeah, this is probably. This is like I said, this is Machiavellian 7 at his top. Like that end near the end where he has to manipulate Ace into losing faith in him so they could win. That is something that he would
around.
That's something the master would do a little bit.
Yeah, that's something the master would do to like someone that has been manipulating for his own cause.
Do you think that's where God Complex got the idea?
Probably, yeah, because it's the similar basis of like 11 having to get Amy to lose her faith in him to defeat the Minotaur. But yeah, it's like, everything about this episode is
quick.
It's
great.
Let's go to 50% podcast real quick. They said surely a Madman 50% crossover episode. 100%.
That would be
absolutely.
Great. Wait.
Also, got to correct it. No, it's not the long game. It's Dalek. It's
yeah, I can see the Cybermen head in the background.
Where he goes, an old friend.
Or old enemy.
We're on you. Don't
Ashan, we do not talk about looms.
Looms. Everyone talks about the looms.
No.
Now I got
the other is loomed.
Probably my favorite part of this whole story. Okay. There's two parts I really love. One, obviously, is when they come out of the water and the soldiers just like, we got to get out of here. Like, this is messed up. But besides that is one that's kind of more subtle is when the writing gets etched into the wall overnight. I think that's a really cool one because it makes you feel like the mythology is real and it's even more set in stone throughout its unveiling. I like that a lot.
And what we were talking about before, you gotta love the power of faith. Faith of some sort anywhere, and the strength that it can carry. However, how it is used in this case is, it's got just it hits the right notes. I feel.
Is that your religion?
Is that your religion? Yep.
It's a belief. I love that.
It's a belief.
I love that.
Yeah, no. So now we just have to talk about some ratings, I feel.
I'll be the first one to go because I know I normally don't, but I will do it this time because I actually love this. Like, this is up there for me. And, like before watching it, because I haven't seen it before, it's weird because people would talk about it as if it's like the second coming of Doctor Who. And like you'd be like, okay, but it's like, is it as good as always go back to it, but Tomb of the Cybermen, and it's just like, yeah, it's pretty damn close to that. I absolutely loved it, so I got to give it probably a 9.
9. Yeah.
I got to give it 1 Christopher Eccleston.
I'll give it a Christopher Eccleston out of a Tenant.
Yeah, out of a Tenant.
Which Tenant? Which Tenant?
The good one.
Yeah, I know.
10-10.
The good one. From
not 10-10. 10-10.
No, the one David Tennant, not Christopher Nolan's Tennant. Yeah.
I can't hear anything in that. So
Are you serious? Okay, everyone was talking about that when the movie came out.
I think that
perfectly
I haven't
fine.
seen it, but I heard that was a recurring thing where like the sound mixing was just not that good, so you could hardly hear the actors in certain scenes.
It was fine for me. You must have got the Australian cut.
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it yet.
There's
That's
one
all
where
I've heard.
emus are just so loud you can't hear shit.
Yeah.
Chris, you said it was 9 for you too.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely 9.
All right,
Kurt,
I think it's a 9 across the board. This is
It-
this might be Seven's best episode. I like
after his first season where it's kind of a mixed bag, you finally get his last 2 seasons. They're just like, let's just give him some really good episodes. Let's give him Remembrance of the Daleks. Let's give him Curse of Fenric.
Let's give him shit that slaps.
And then cancel it,
Then cancel it. That's right.
No, I think the reason for that is because a lot of writers, when they hear it's canceled, this will be like the last season. What they do is just go, we're just gonna throw everything at the wall. We're gonna give them Viking zombies. Like, cool.
Well, the thing is, I mentioned it. They were going to throw everything at the wall with the Cartmore master plan, with like establishing that the Doctor is a reincarnation of the other. But J&T did not like that idea, so he said no. So they had to scrap it, but they kept little bits and pieces.
That guy must just be like a descendant or like an ancestor of Pixel, because he just does not like good things. Also, as Sean, we did say Remembrance.
Yeah, no, I'm not forgetting Remembrance. I love Remembrance. I feel like for a story, though, that's a very good Dalek story. But for the Doctor, this story has a lot of strength for it. And I think for Ace too. So
there's a Dalek story we need to cover. It should be the Day of the Daleks with John Pertwee. That's one I think we should cover.
We haven't covered that yet.
No, but it's a good one. Because like the first episode and a half, almost two episodes, you're just like, where are the Daleks? And then when they get there, you're like, oh, that's why they weren't in the first. Awesome. Cool. It's just horrible.
Even though 3 says, yeah, there's Daleks on this planet. Then when he sees the Daleks, it's like you knew they were, yes, you didn't know that they were invisible, but you knew they were there.
You can't see me.
They were literally hidden behind a tapestry. Like a tapestry. What is this? Like Indiana Jones? Come on.
That might be the next classic one that we need to discuss. But that's not going to be it. That is it for our rankings. 9s all around. Eccleston's all around. But only one Eccleston per story. He doesn't like multi-doctor stories. Even if it's himself. That would be an interesting proposal. That'd be an interesting proposal.
Because why would they gave us one of the coolest like new companions with Nova, and they're just like, we're never gonna see her again
because they can't. They cannot.
That's so upsetting.
Rose has to be the true companion.
I know, but it still just hurts a little bit.
But we do get an awesome story where he fights some medieval-looking zombies. So. Yeah, we have to take the good with the bad.
Was that in the third box set?
Second or third. It was in.
Yeah,
the third.
okay. I don't think I've heard that one yet. But I loved the Cybermen story. Old friends.
I don't think I've gotten there. I need to get there. I'm almost there, but I have to finish the Dead Star. Black holes. They're coming. Now I'm putting on the tinfoil cap. But that's it for us this week. We're going to have an interesting topic that we'll discuss afterwards to discuss next week. But we want to thank you so much. Please remind you to like and subscribe. Check out the other channels. He's got a channel. He's got a channel. I'm associated with a puppet sometimes. I'm connected to that channel. If you like what we do
that's
here.
Nothing. Hey, that's no way to talk to RDV. He's a person, okay?
talking about somebody else. But that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week for another episode of Madman with the Box. Good night. Alonzi.
Geronimo.
Fantastic.
Alonzi.